Welcome back to this week's Articulate Storyline tutorial. In the last video, we wrapped up our walkthrough of all 26 question types, finishing with the 6 freeform questions. If you missed that video, or any part of the quiz series, you'll find links to the freeform questions video and the full playlist in the description below. Today, we're shifting focus from building questions to managing them. We're going to look at quiz banks, which allow you to group questions together and have Storyline randomly select which ones the learner sees. And then we'll look at the results slide, which determines how those questions are scored, evaluated, and reported. Quiz banks control delivery. Result slides control evaluation. Let's get started. One of the challenges with asynchronous learning is timing. Learners complete training when it fits their schedule. That flexibility is a major advantage. They don't have to reschedule meetings or shift other responsibilities. But flexibility also introduces variability. When learners take training at different times, they may discuss the course content with others. In some environments, particularly safety, compliance, or certification-based training, that creates risk. If quiz answers are shared, the organization may not be able to rely on the results. Question banks help address that concern. A question bank allows you to create a larger pool of questions and then randomly draw a subset for each learner. This means different learners, and even the same learner on a retake, may see different questions. You define how many questions are in the bank, how many questions are drawn, and whether specific questions must always appear. Building a question bank and drawing from it are two separate processes. You do not simply create questions and assign them to a bank after the fact. To begin, go to the Slides tab and locate the quizzing section. Select the Question Banks icon. Unlike many ribbon icons, selecting either the icon itself or the drop-down arrow opens the same menu. From here, you'll see several options. New Draw from Question Bank, existing question banks, such as Question Bank 1, Question Bank 2, and so on, Create Question Bank, and Manage Question Banks. Initially, you'll only see Question Bank 1. As you create additional banks, they will appear in this list. As we begin building the question bank, remember, you are not creating questions directly inside your scene. Questions are created and stored inside the bank itself. Then, you insert a Draw from Question Bank slide into your scene where you want the learner to encounter those questions. Obviously, you cannot insert a question bank and its questions before you create the bank itself. So the first step is to create the new bank. As we just discussed, you'll select the Question Banks icon in the ribbon, and then choose Create Question Bank. This opens a pop-up window where you can assign the bank's name. Just like when inserting a new object on a slide or in the timeline, it's important to give each bank a unique and descriptive name, since this is the name you'll later see when selecting which bank to draw questions from. For this example, since the questions will come from the first scene, we named the bank Scene 1 Question Bank. When the bank is created, it automatically opens in a new window tab in Storyline. This is not a ribbon tab like the ones we've been discussing throughout this series. Instead, it's a workspace tab that allows you to switch between different slides and scenes in the project. Here, you can see 3 tabs. The first tab is Story View, which is always available. Story View displays the entire course structure, including all scenes and slides, allowing you to see the overall flow of the lesson. The second tab shows the slide we are working on. Slide 1.3, Create Question Bank. The third tab is our newly created Scene 1 Question Bank. You can always tell which tab you are actively working in because it will be highlighted in blue. Storyline allows you to have multiple slide windows open at the same time, which can make it easier to switch between scenes or copy objects from one slide to another. For your own sanity, though, it's best to keep only the minimum number of tabs open that you actually need. Now that the bank is open, there are 2 ways to add questions. You can either select the question icons in the ribbon, or select the blue Insert Question area in the main content window. In the ribbon, you'll see icons for Graded Question and Survey Question. That doesn't mean you're limited to those types. If you want to add a freeform question, select the New Slide drop-down arrow just to the right of the Survey Question icon, where freeform questions appear as one of the available options. If you've already created questions elsewhere in your project, you can also import them into the bank. To do this, select Import Questions in the ribbon. This opens a window showing the slides and question banks within the project. At the top of the window are two drop-down menus. The menu on the left allows you to choose which slides or question banks you want to view. The menu on the right determines whether the selected questions will be copied or moved into the current question bank. Once you've selected the source and chosen whether to copy or move the questions, use the checkboxes along the left side of the window to select the specific slides you want to add. Each time you add a new question to the bank, Storyline opens that question in a new workspace tab. Questions inside a bank use a slightly different numbering format. Instead of the standard scene and slide numbering, the format becomes Q, followed by the question bank number, then the question number. For example, since we are adding questions to the second question bank, the slides appear as Q2.1, Q2.2, and so on. Because these are still standard question slides, you will continue to see both Form View and Slide View available in the Trigger Panel area, just like you did when creating graded or survey questions earlier in the series. Another thing you may notice is that Storyline treats each question bank similar to its own scene when you are viewing individual slides. However, this only applies when working inside the bank or in Slide View. When you select the Story View Workspace tab, you will not see the question banks displayed alongside the other scenes in your lesson. Now that we have created the question bank, the next step is to tell Storyline which questions the learner will see and how many questions will be drawn from the bank. This configuration does not occur inside the question bank itself. Instead, it is configured within the scene where you want the learner to encounter the questions. To do this, select the Slides tab, then select the Question Bank's drop-down arrow and choose New Draw from Question Bank. This opens the Draw from Question Bank window. The window is divided into three primary sections. At the top of the window, you will see two drop-down menus and a checkbox. The first drop-down menu allows you to identify which question bank the questions will be drawn from. The second drop-down menu determines how many questions the learner will be required to answer. In this example, our question bank contains 3 questions, so the menu allows us to select 1, 2, or 3 questions, or all questions. Selecting the maximum number of questions, in this case 3, is functionally the same as selecting all questions. You will also see a Randomize Questions checkbox. Earlier in this video, we discussed the possibility that learners may share answers with others who have not yet taken the course. Randomizing the order of the questions helps reduce that risk. When this option is selected, Storyline will first randomize the question order and then select the number of questions specified in the second drop-down menu. This process occurs each time a learner reaches the Draw from Question Bank slide. The middle section of the window displays the questions currently stored in the question bank. You can reorder the questions by dragging them within this list. This does not change the question numbering, but simply changes the order in which they appear within the configuration window. On the right side of this section, you will see a column that determines when a question is included in the draw. Each question can be set to one of 3 options: randomly, never, and always. At first glance, selecting never may seem counterintuitive. However, it can be useful in certain situations. For example, if learner performance data indicates that a specific question is frequently missed, you may temporarily set that question to never while reviewing whether the question wording, answer options, or supporting instructional material require revision. This allows you to correct the issue without continuing to penalize learners while the question is under review. At the bottom of the window, you will see 2 additional controls: Move Question and Lock Question. The Move Question option performs the same function as dragging a question within the list. It simply changes the order in which questions appear. The Lock Question option provides additional control over how questions are drawn from the bank. The available locking options include To Question Above, To Question Below, To Top of Group, To Bottom of Group, and Remove Lock. Selecting To Question Above or To Question Below links 2 questions together. When one of these questions is drawn, the other will also be included, and the 2 questions will appear consecutively. Selecting To Top of Group or To Bottom of Group ensures that the question will always appear first or last within the set of questions drawn for the learner. Finally, Remove Lock clears any previously applied locking rule. The final topic in the quiz question series is the Results slide. Results slides can be used to report to the LMS whether a learner passed or failed the training. We will discuss LMS reporting in more detail in a future video. For now, remember that just because a lesson contains quiz questions does not mean you must include a results slide or report the results to the LMS. In some cases, you may simply want to provide the learner with feedback on how well they performed. To insert a results slide, start on the Slides tab and select the results icon in the quizzing section. This opens the Insert Results Slide pop-up window. There are 4 types of results slides available. They all function in essentially the same way. So rather than discussing each type individually, we will focus on the graded question results slide. After selecting the type of results slide you want to insert, Storyline will automatically insert the slide as the next slide in the scene, using the default title and layout format. At the same time, Storyline opens the Quiz Settings window. The Quiz Settings window is relatively simple and contains only a few configuration options. The first option allows you to identify what type of quiz this results slide represents. There are 3 types: pre-check, knowledge check, final assessment. This feature was introduced in a more recent version of Storyline, so even experienced users may not be familiar with it. The final assessment option is the default setting. This is the option most developers are accustomed to using, and it is typically used when the results slide will determine whether the learner passes or fails the lesson. The knowledge check option provides the learner with feedback on their overall understanding of the material. While it still calculates a pass or fail score, that score is not reported to the LMS. This can be useful when reviewing a specific scene or section of the course, and allowing the learner to gauge their understanding before moving on. The third option is the pre-check. This option allows learners to demonstrate their knowledge before completing the entire course. If the learner passes the pre-check, Storyline can report to the LMS that the learner has successfully completed the training without requiring them to complete the full lesson. This can be particularly useful for recertification or compliance-based training. If the learner fails the pre-check, that failure is not reported to the LMS, and the learner will instead be required to complete the full course. Even though the overall failure is not reported, individual question data is still captured, which can be useful for analyzing question performance. The second major option in the Quiz Settings window determines what content is being scored and reported. In the Calculate Results For section, you can choose whether the results slide evaluates individual question slides or entire question banks. If you select Questions, you will choose the specific question slides you want included in the score. If you have created question banks, you can instead select the bank or banks you want the results slide to evaluate. Keep in mind that the questions or question banks must already exist before creating the results slide. Otherwise, Storyline will have nothing to evaluate. At the bottom of the window, you will define the minimum passing score, expressed as a percentage. The default passing score in Storyline is 80%. Finally, result slides can also be used to create a comprehensive result across multiple quizzes. Instead of selecting questions in the Calculate Results For section, you can select result slides. When you do this, 2 additional options appear. The first option requires the learner to pass each individual quiz. The second option calculates a combined score across all quizzes and compares that score to the minimum passing percentage. Although the difference between these options may seem minor, it can significantly affect how the learner's final result is calculated. For example, imagine a course with 4 quizzes, where the learner scores 75, 90, 95, and 90%. If the results slide is configured so the learner must pass each individual quiz, and the passing score for each quiz is 80%, the learner would fail the overall course because the first quiz score was below 80%. However, if the results slide is configured to combine the scores, the learner's final score would be 87.5%, and the learner would pass the training. If this video helped you understand how result slides and question banks work in Articulate Storyline, the video on the screen walks through graded questions step by step. Go ahead and select it to continue building your quiz skills. And if you want more practical Articulate Storyline tutorials like this, subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. The Pug Grumble says thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.